Find out the merch.
Hi, everybody. No one's
Hello.
Hi, guys. We are Lipstick and Logic. We got a time constraint today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And today we are talking about, how did I phrase it? Queen-ish. Let me make sure I'm centered. Queen-ish is our topic for today. More specifically, you guys know anybody that knows me personally, and I'm gonna lump Isha in on this too. Anybody that knows us know that we are pretty much Beyonce obsessive. Is that fair to say?
Beyonce stands, part of the Beehive, all of that.
Founding members of the Beehive.
We were, actually, yes.
Actually,
Let's clarify. Shree and Aisha are.
I didn't lump you in.
All right, cool.
Purposefully.
That's just because I don't want them to expect me to know the Bay facts like you guys.
Like the fact that you said Bay negative, but it's cool. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, we wanted to talk to you guys today about Beyonce and how she is just a powerhouse. I'm going to back up, not about Beyonce specifically, but about a move that she made recently. And it's appropriate because today is homecoming. And if you guys are Beyonce stans, you know what it means. If you watch the news, you know what it means. She released her documentary on Netflix. So as a Black woman, Beyonce has made so many just powerhouse moves, standing up for us as a people, making sure that we're heard. And she kind of, it's not that she started doing that with Coachella, but Coachella was definitely a statement. I'm here, this is my culture, and I want you guys to understand what we as Blacks experience as culture. So recently she was in talks with different sports companies. I believe Reebok was one and Adidas was another one. So she ended up going with Adidas because with Reebok, she was sitting with them and they gave their presentation, and then she made a statement saying, you know, is this the group that's going to be working on my products? And she said no one in the room looked like her and walked out. I have a version in my head of exactly how that looked when she did it, but I'm just making it up. They weren't as descriptive as I see it in my head. But we want to talk to you guys about that today. So as Black women, we are constantly underrepresented. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So seeing someone like Beyonce take this stand really just does something for your soul. I know I sound dramatic, but I really feel that way. Like there's a reason that I stand for her so much. Beyonce, Rihanna, what are your thoughts?
I love the whole Queen movement. I'm really proud of us. Check out our Instagram page on Lipstick and Logic. I think it's Lipstick Logic Talk on Instagram. We did a whole little series about being regal and queen-like. And I don't know, it was like we were tuned in just as fans to this whole wavelength of empowerment. And that's what I really love about Beyonce is that she even says this in her live album. You should check that out. It's amazing. That Black women always feel as if they are, I would say, to sum it up, insignificant, or we're fighting always for representation and just to be heard and seen. I don't know, it's just a lot of things that seem like it's kind of against Black women.
Right.
And I just love that Beyonce embraces that. She doesn't run away from her Blackness. She puts it now as a standard, and that's the thing she did with Reebok and Adidas. She was like, no one looks like me. I'm not going to be here for this. And you guys are going to continue to do that. And the fact that she's able to do that with her platform, with her money, with her voice, with her whole being, it's just amazing that you have somebody here in that position and she's standing up for us. That's really how I feel.
Right. I agree. I mean, it's really nice to see that people, because a lot of times I feel like people tend to get to a certain level and then they might forget about where they came from, or the people that they represent, or even that the opportunity is there for them to speak out on these things because now they have a huge platform and people are listening, people of other races and other cultures. And then Rihanna, for coming out with makeup that forced makeup brands to compete. Like, hey, you left out a whole 10 shade ranges of people. Now you got to compete with me. Basically, she started a whole movement. And I think that's just so awesome.
She really did. And viewers, as you guys join, we want to hear your comments on this topic as well. I want to throw something out that we did discuss beforehand, so I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it when I say this. Right. So we started with Beyonce, but we also have some Game of Thrones references in this too. One, because again, Jessica's never on the same wavelength as us. Isha and I are Game of Thrones fans. Jessica is like, oh, whatever. I support whatever you guys love. We appreciate that. But one of the themes of Game of Thrones, spoiler if you guys haven't seen past like the second season, is Khaleesi, one of the main characters, is a voice for people of color, right? So we're here talking about Beyonce and how she's been a voice piece for us and she's been in that position. But I also think that we need to acknowledge people like this fictional character in Game of Thrones. People like Ellen Pompeo, who's the main character of Grey's Anatomy, that constantly makes statements about how Black women are not given their due. What do you guys think about that? Or should we just represent stand for the culture or support everybody?
Wait, sorry, repeat that. The stand for culture?
No, so I'm basically saying that, we're here giving Beyonce praise, but I also think that we need to praise people white women that support us as well. Anne Hathaway, Ellen Pompeo. Those are the two popping in my head right now, but I know there are more of them. But I do think that sometimes we can get so kind of caught up in the culture, for lack of a better phrase, that we forget that you have to, in order for us to grow as a people, we need other people to help us that aren't in marginalized societies.
Well, yeah, I completely agree with that. But I don't know if I get where you're going with that, per se. Like, are we supposed to share? Because it's a different thing. Like feminism and womanism, those are two different movements. I would even say that Beyonce says she's a feminist, but I would even say that the way that she moves and the group that she represents, she's more so of a womanist, and that pertains to Black women.
Define that for the people that don't.
Womanist is basically a woman who, I wouldn't say stand, that's for lack of a better term. Oh my gosh, you guys, no words have left me. But it's more so a representation for Black women. It's feminism for Black women specifically. So I would say that Beyonce is more so a womanist. And this isn't about being racially divided. It's just that I know my struggles as a Black woman, and the womanist movement sort of pertains more to me than the feminist movement. And I do know, but just the way that things happen. Like right now, we had a white president. Now, then after that, we had a Black president. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm almost certain that it'll be next if we do have something that's kind of out there, we'll have a white woman president, and then we'll have a Black woman president. For me, I feel like the equal opportunity should be Black and white women together. So I would like to see a Black woman as president first, if you get where I'm going with this.
Do I think it's realistic?
Of course not. And I have to say something right now, because I have a lot of dreams and hopes for Black women. Like I have a lot of dreams and hope as a woman, and people are always like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. And I'm like, don't tell me what's realistic and what's not. I'm going to fight for what I want to fight for. It wasn't realistic at one point for Black people to vote. We were 3/5 of a human being. So I'm going to say what I want, not what I wish. I'm not coming at you. But people always have been telling me when I talk about these things, it's not realistic. It may not happen. Of course not. That's why I'm wishing for it. Anyway.
So what are you doing to make that change?
I would say, what am I doing to make that change? I know that I am not going to places like, kind of how Solange would say, like, you have a seat at the table. I don't go places that I'm not accepted. And I kind of I value myself and I value who I am. So if I'm not there, it sucks for you because you're really missing out on something. And I also, like, when I'm applying for jobs too, and like, giving my skills, I don't give that to everybody. And I also I'm very, very selective about the spaces that I'm in. Mm-hmm. I know that the place I work is very inclusive, and I'm very, very happy about that. Like I can wear a head wrap to work, wear my natural hair out at work, and no one's making fun of me, no one's asking questions. It's an awesome place to be and an awesome feeling to have as a Black woman. So that's like a small thing. And of course, the next thing I could do is to kind of reach back and then have another young Black woman or a young person of color learn from me, mentor those.
I can say, feeding off of that, I have this issue that I've noticed recently that with brands that have had scandals where they were like, oh, these were specifically made for white people, I tend to kind of shun them when I walk in the store. Like if I see something from them, I'm like, oh, that's really cute. And then I'm like, oh, it's by this brand, I'm not going to get it type of thing.
I don't know. I feel like what y'all are saying is cute, but is it really in action?
No, I'm not saying that I'm making something.
Okay.
I'm not even going to front. What are you doing?
Honestly, I've been volunteering I volunteered for Andrew Gillum's campaign because I felt like he's someone that represents me and the changes that I want to see. That being said, that was one thing. That was the governor's race, and people say that you make the most changes, locally. So there's more that I can do, but I have been challenging myself with that, with all the complaints that I make. What action am I taking to move forward?
Followers, you guys, what could we do as Black women to increase representation and to involve our community more? You tell us, what have you done? Tell us and give us some ideas on what we can do moving forward.
Right. We definitely want to hear and see what you guys are doing because clearly we're lacking.
Not even on front. I know I'm listening to Beyonce. That's about it. It's terrible.
It's a start. I feel like that's a very important start to it, but I digress. I educated a few work people on Beyonce today and what she's doing. And I'm like, guys, you have to listen to this. This is what she's done. This is why she means so much to me personally. And you should love her just as much as I do. I'm going to say all that. But I felt that myself. All right, guys.
Okay.
Well, thank you for listening to us talk today. I think we're ready to move on to the lipstick portion.
We're already done?
Oh, sorry, Isha.
What do you mean sorry for what?
I felt like you had another comment to make.
No, the time went by. Like, it really flew.
It flew by. I know. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to us. Isha, what lipstick are you wearing?
Well, you guys, I'm a working mom and I just got home and I have to breastfeed my son. So right now the lipstick I have is Aisha. Like, it's all me right now. No lipstick today.
Natural and beautiful. Look how beautiful she looks with her new hair.
Thank you.
I don't think we've gone live since you cut your hair.
We have actually.
Oh my bad.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
I love it.
Look at Serene's hair, y'all.
Thanks, guys. I feel like
Beyonce blonde.
make a line right now. I love it.
Isn't it amazing? She just came into Marco Polo one day and was like, oh yeah, I did it. Okay. Okay.
I do random things.
You make moves.
Well, I am wearing Huda Beauty. Sidebar, Huda is also a very inclusive brand, Middle Eastern founder, and the shades that she makes look great on so many different skin tones. If you're looking for a good lipstick, look at Huda too, because I like Fenty. This color is Vixen. It's the liquid matte, and I'm obsessed. And I also think I'm allergic to it, but I won't stop wearing it. That's it.
That's what color you wearing. I'm not dealing with this girl anymore.
All right, so I'm wearing Julep Petal. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's Petal, and it's a whipped matte lip cream. So yeah, I decided to try something new today.
Can we talk about how beautiful Jessica looks? And
less eyeshadow, yes.
Eyeshadow and that hair. But
all inspired by Shane.
I know. The eyeshadow is a Black-owned brand, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is.
Juvia's.
When I told you about it.
Who's the palette?
Give them a shout out, Jeff.
It's Juvia's Place, right? Okay. Because I don't really shop their brand often, so that was a impulse buy for me.
Got Ulta, so you guys go, and they have 40% off on their actual website, so we can post that link too if you're interested in
Another thing, ladies,
that
is dropping some new Mademoiselle lip colors. I think she's got how many? 3, 6, 9, 10 shades.
You said new colors?
Yeah, that's what I was showing you guys today. So you
Paycheck has left the building.
Go to Fenty Beauty on YouTube, and Jackie Aina has a video where she's trying on the lipsticks, and you can try them on yourself with this little feature. It's really dope. So she's dropping new shades.
I look distressed because I just know my money's about to go.
She's gonna take all of our coins, and it's
left the building.
It goes to a Black woman. So that's what we're doing. We're supporting Black beauty brands. That's what we're doing.
Not enough.
We're definitely doing that.
We'll talk about this later. Thank you guys.
All right, you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Follow us on everything.